Simon from simonwoods.com. Got 3 New Zealand Sauvignons, all Marlborough, all 2010. No, they're not. We've got 2 2010s and a 2008 to finish, but that's a slightly strange wine, which we will get to. First one, a Cellar selection from Villa Maria, their Marlborough 2010. Which I nearly call the 010 vintage. Still, debate is still out there whether it's called the 10 or the 010 vintage. Well, this is on the what I call the overripe pea pod edge. It's got this slightly tinned pea juice. I can't remember the last time I had tinned pea juice as a drink, but that character or tinned asparagus juice. It's got this mixture of the greenness and a slightly overripe. Overripe, slightly mushy tinned vegetable character, which doesn't sound very promising. Let's taste it and see whether it's it doesn't live up to that billing. Tastes a bit better. Gooseberry pie. It's one of those rich, ever so slightly sweet ones. I wish that they'd had the confidence to leave it a little bit drier. Because what I miss about that is a slight pithy minerality that I find the best Marlborough Sauvignons have. Still, can't fault it as a wine, full of flavour, really a crowd pleaser. Not the most subtle of wines, but I don't think you go to Marlborough Sauvignon for subtlety, or do you? Maybe the next 2 might prove me wrong on that. Just have another swig of this first. So, yeah, Blind River. Most Marlborough Sauvignons end up being made without any sight of an oak barrel. This one says on the back 10% barrel fermentation. Now, Sauvignon in barrels, it's one of those debates. Some people think that it should be kept away from oak, but other people say, well, what about some of the great Bordeaux whites that have barrel fermentation? So Marlborough, there are some people who like a little bit of it in their wine, some people who don't. This one's called Blind River, 10% barrel fermentation. Now this feels like 2 things. It feels like it's going to be a richer, less aggressive wine. Also feels like it's going to be more complex. And I stick my nose in there and it's not jumping out and going yap, 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 which is a problem I find with quite a few Sauvignons, not just from Marlborough. It feels more laid back, restrained, and confident in that restraint too. And here you are getting that river pebble minerality. Have you ever licked a river pebble? It's a question I've asked quite a few people and they look at me as if I'm bonkers. But you must have done it. You must have. Beach pebbles taste slightly different. They're slightly saltier. But this stony minerality. Yes, there's quite exuberant fruit there, and it's on the very ripe citrus and a bit of the plum in there. Yeah, plum, green gage. Very tasty, and whereas this one I thought had that touch of sweetness, I think there's an ever so slight touch of sweetness there, but it's more the richness of the fruit flavours that's carrying the wine and making it very attractive. Yeah, pretty classy wine that. Let's see what the next one is. Now this is unusual in Marlborough Sauvignon. It's got corking. And the other thing unusual about it, it doesn't say Sauvignon Blanc on the front label. What it says is Dog Point, section 94, 2008. So we're Thre coming up for its 3rd birthday. It does say Sauvignon on the back label. Now Dog Point is a vineyard that was planted quite a long time ago by 2 guys, James Healy and Ivan Sutherland. James used to be the winemaker at Cloudy Bay. Ivan was the viticulturalist, but they had this vineyard. Some of the fruit went to Cloudy Bay sometimes, but Goldwater, based on Waiheke Island, they had a Dog Point Sauvignon for quite a few years, and the reason they don't now is because those 2, James and Ivan, have left Cloudy Bay and set up Dog Point on their own. And they do a what I call a regular Sauvignon and a Chardonnay. I think they do a Pinot as well. But section 94, the idea of this is it's more the vineyard talking, and they do give quite a bit of barrel. They work the barrels into the wine. Let's see whether you can smell that. And yeah, you get that really rich, toasty smell of a French oak barrel. It smells beyond there like there's a bit of floral character. Certainly, it's got some of this sappy Sauvignon greenness, but it's not that really overt asparagus. If it's citrus, it's on that very ripe grapefruit. A bit of lemon edge, also apples in there, and it smells intriguing, and also it smells, just thinking about the oak character that's coming up, it smells like it's a wine that's still on the young side, and probably has another couple of years before it could be said to be at its peak. Or is that just from the smell? Let's have a taste. That's funky wine. Rich, toasty, yeasty. It's got this, like, what I call benevolent spent match character that you get in white Burgundy. And you tasted that completely blind, you'd be hard put to say it were Marlborough Sauvignon. If there is a Sauvignon character coming through, maybe it's this zesty, pithy minerality. But it's more this completeness, and yeah, it's that mineral pebble character of the soil that's maybe talking louder than the variety, and maybe that's why they've left the name of the variety off the label. It'd be interesting to see if they plant other things in this vineyard, whether it gives the same sort of character in those wines, and whether it's the vineyard or the varietal that speaks louder. But a very tasty wine. It's Marlborough Sauvignon for white Burgundy fans, and of which I'm one, and so given the choice, I would drink that. I'd drink rather a lot of that. See you soon.